Hello everyone, so it's a bit of an awkward time to be playing on Fox. So I tried to get a game on KGS with my account, but because it has a question mark and I want more specific time settings and not really long or super short time settings, it was kind of difficult to get a game. Uh, if I do Blitz on KGS, it seems like it's easy to get a game, but then it's really hard to talk about it. So there's still 8,000, almost 10,000 people, I guess, if you include the mobile people on Fox. So we'll see if we can get a game. It's just like, what, 3 a.m. for them? It's not a big deal.
Start to
All right, I got a
play.
game and I am black. Let's see if they stay. The other person did not. They're thinking about not staying. Okay. Okay. So he decided to make it awkward for me, so I'm just going to do this normal enclosure, this old orthodox opening for fun. Oh, he's doing this. This is a little bit small because this is the smallest side of the board right now. It's much more important to approach. And in this case, I'm going to approach high because I would want him to attach and so I can make a base on the bottom side of the board. I don't really want him to pincer. When you don't want your opponent to pincer, approaching high is often the easiest way to make sure they don't. He's doing this approach now, but I am perfectly happy to just do a basic attachment. I'm not going to do anything special here. There is a double Hane variation that you can play, but I'm just going to keep it as simple as possible. Jump, I guess, should be fine. Kind of want to go a little bit faster if I can. And now we don't need to worry about these two stones. We can even give them up if we wish to. The most important thing is to connect on this side. We're fighting against this stone a little bit when we do this. If he really wants to cut, we may even just be able to capture the stone directly. We don't need to separate right now either. We made this really strong position, and now we have a potentially weak corner. So to strengthen the corner, I'm going to kick the stone. Make it so you can't just jump into the corner as easily. And then I'm going to play low here just to settle the area quickly. It's a little bit of a weird move. He's trying to pressure my corner quite a lot, but I'm just going to pincer, get rid of his base. He's really trying to surround my corner, but me being able to push up here gets rid of the Aji of the 3-3. So I am perfectly fine. And what we really want to do here is we probably want to separate as best as possible. If we just push up here, we may be able to push and cut. That might be good. If we attach, it's going to end up being fairly similar. So I will just push up, make it very simple. And now we just want to separate the groups. It's fine if he attacks this stone. It's not really that big of a deal. The most important part is keeping the groups separated so that they can be weak. So I'm going to do the knight's move to separate. Threading the corner a little bit, preventing me from not much. So I'm just going to block the corner. He's doing the Hane right away. If he really wants to, I don't mind. He's actually just getting rid of his own liberties for when he cuts here. He has fewer liberties here. So it's not too big of a deal. He doesn't even have more eye space yet. And he's pushing the wrong way. This way just completely separates him instead of helping him survive. He needed to push the other direction to make sure he was cutting the stones off. So now it's a very desperate situation for him. Whereas before it was not. And because my corner is just alive, I can play very fast here instead. Instead of just playing the diagonal move, I can play the knight's move. There's also the ability to potentially just capture these stones to get rid of all of his liberties. But for now, we're just going to separate. As I mentioned though, this is really late in the day, or late at night for them, so it's not going to be indicative of the best way they're going to play. But just protect our own stone. Don't worry about anything. We're just separating the groups. That's the most important part here, is we're separating the groups. So now it feels like we can attack this white group to some extent. So I'm just going to play the simplest move again. Just separate. We're good to go. Now he has to live with this group, and he has this group to worry about. Yep. And the more he struggles versus this stone, the more damage he's going to do to the upper side. So usually you do not want to be attaching to this side. You'd want to just play diagonally and run out here instead. It's an interesting shape. I kind of want to see what he does if I peep here, or if I push in here. I don't have liberty problems here because everything's connected up, so I'm fine with pushing and seeing how he responds. And now there is this double peep. Yeah, so he has a little bit of bad shape here. If I push through now, he blocks, I cut, he pushes Atari, and I can still connect up, but then I do have some Aji here. So because of this Aji, I'm going to block here, forcing him to try to connect up instead. As I said, I don't really want to be too aggressive. We want him to just run towards the center so that we're surrounding the top side naturally. One thing we could consider is that this cutting point could end up being bad for me. Because if he's able to cut, maybe he's able to fight back. So I'm going to play this Tiger's Mouth, which is threatening to cut off these top stones. And it looks like I can at least push one more time. Still threatening to push and cut. So now we've fixed that potential weakness. The only other weakness we have, like, we can always give up these 2 stones. We don't really need to worry about it. So I just want to either push this way, push him down and then jump, or jump right away. I don't really want to answer him if he pushes this stone, so I'm going to... So I feel like I want to push this way.
Yoyomi now starts.
But I guess I just don't need to answer when he does that. So I'm just going to take the extension along the bottom. This is closing off one potential area that he's able to jump towards. And he's jumping this way to sort of threaten this shape here, but it's not something that I really need to worry about, like I said. So he wants to make some shape in the center. Let's see what his shape is on this side here. Is he going to let me capture these stones? And is he going to let me capture the stones still? Just keep asking him questions. And I just connect up here. He doesn't have the eye on this side anymore. Okay. And we just give up these 2 stones because they don't matter at all on this board. We just connect. And we don't really want to answer this. So if he Ataris, we still don't really need to answer. We could answer, I guess, if we want to. I said I don't really want to, though.
9.
So I'm just going to fix
7, 6, 5,
the
4,
Aji that I have
3,
here.
2, 1.
I'll turn. There we go. We fixed all of our Aji. Nothing to worry about anymore. And it's starting to become a vital point, so you can just make eyes. So I'm just going to answer once now. I didn't want to. But it's fine. Oh, he's playing from the awkward direction. So we can turn here. He doesn't have 2 eyes yet. And we just surround. Sometimes you want to take the Tiger's Mouth right away, but when I'm trying to surround my opponent, I can jump over it instead. I don't need to completely take everything away. So here we're going to push and peep. This is going to make it harder for him to escape over here. And we just need to fix our Aji on this side. If we want to try to kill, then we want to play this move probably. Because it gets rid of all the Aji here. We can just connect up pretty easily. This one might also be a good one for the killing variation, so that we can Hane
9,
better on this side.
8,
But I'm going to do this
7.
one for fun. Yep, we just stay connected. And he's going to be able to Atari here and do this, not an empty triangle, it's an eye-making move, and then make potentially 2 eyes right away. We could try to fight back against that, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to let him live. Because all these moves are good for me, for that he does. Now he needs one more move to make sure he's alive. There we go. He made sure to live. We don't really need to worry about these stones. I'm just going to play a big move here on the bottom. Yep, just extend.
Start.
So from the attack, we pushed him around this way to get some points on the bottom side of the board and some more influence. And we ended up taking the corner in a very strong way. Oh, he's playing this one. That's sort of interesting. He still has this weak group here. And so that's why I'm very tempted to do some sort of shoulder hit on this side. Because if we play low, he's able to attach on top, and it becomes a little bit
9,
awkward.
8, 7.
But playing low
6.
is the better way to get points, so that's what I'm going to do. Oh, he's invading that right away? Wow. So I'm going to lean on this stronger side. I want him to connect up underneath, so I'm doing the diagonal. We're just going to push here. Now we're very strong. If he answers or not, our group is strong. That's the most important part. We can potentially make a couple points in the center here. I'm not going to worry about that for now. What I want to worry about here is, can I cut him or do anything special with this group?
9.
It looks
8,
possible because I'm strong,
7,
but I don't think I'm strong
6,
enough.
5, 4.
So I'm just going to sort of surround him, connect my groups up together, and make sure he can't run this direction. And we're also threatening to potentially cut him off as well. So now we want to poke at his shape a bit. So like, I want to see how he responds when I push here. If he doesn't respond, I can push, and then he has cutting points he has to worry about. Oh, interesting. Okay. So if I want to kill him, of course I want to play this side to try to push and cut and do whatever. Seems like that could work actually. And then the other option is this side, but this side gets rid of my threat of the push, right? Whereas this side, I'm able to still push
9,
through and
8,
cut him. So
7.
we should continue to apply the pressure of our push. Okay. We're just going to connect up. And not a big deal. Yep, stay connected. And he can defend now later, but yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of any cutting points, not worry about anything. There we go. Now he went back to defend against this push, but he defended in a slightly weird way because we get to threaten to cut him here. Now he's alive. He has this move here that makes an eye. Looks like it makes just a direct eye. And then he has plenty of space over here to also make an eye. So the only thing we have to worry about is maybe we can turn this area into a couple points. And is that better than taking the corner?
9.
If we take the corner,
8,
he
7,
extends out here. We
6,
do get the points in the
5,
corner, but he gets to
4,
destroy the points
3,
on the left side
2,
here.
1.
So I think I'm more interested in trying to potentially take some of the outside instead. So I'm still going to see what he wants in the corner. Because if he lets me connect up, that's even better. Okay, he doesn't let me connect up. So I'm going to pull back here, which is threatening this in a little bit more severely. I don't think it works necessarily, but I will be cutting. And see what I can get from it. Because all that matters is if I can squeeze or get any good endgame. Oh, he's going to play a ko? That doesn't work, though. Because if he starts to ko, I just extend and it captures the stones. I think he just misread that one. I think he just had to connect. Because I wasn't able to take the liberty directly. That's interesting as well. We'll just capture. And connect. So I ended up getting plenty from there. And I don't really need to worry about anything else over here. We just need to make sure our group has some liberties here. threatening to capture these 2 stones would give us 2 eyes directly in the corner, and he can't live on the bottom. Okay, so I can just connect. It was very tempting to try to do something else, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to connect. He still has to protect those 3 stones. Otherwise, I'm just alive in the corner, and as I said, he can't live on the bottom. I have too much strength on the bottom. Okay, now I just play 1 move here, and I got a lot from the corner now. This is why you want to test the corner when you can. That's why I attached on the outside, because I'm more likely to play something on the outside here. I have maybe a slight connection issue on the outside, so I'm going to do this peep to try to get rid of any sort of Aji here. I don't really think there's any other Aji on this outside here. If he does anything special, it looks like we're able to connect up fairly easily now that there's some little bit of extra strength, so we can move on to playing some very big moves instead. Like this very, very nice endgame move here. Yeah, we can Hane here because there's a peep. And yeah, we just want to play some potential endgame. I don't even know what I want here. I think this turn is nice because I can Hane in and potentially get rid of some of his eyes. Yeah, one of the problems I'm having here is that there's not really too many endgame moves that gain me points. It's just about
9,
taking points away
8,
from my opponent.
7.
So that's a little bit sad, but awkward shape. But I understand why he played it. This is probably fine. It's not going to give him any real trouble. But I'm just doing this to pressure his ice base a little bit. Okay, I'll block. Okay, there we go. Yeah, his moves here are also not really gaining him points either. Just reducing me. And so that's why the end game's sort of interesting. Normally it's you're getting something for both sides. But that means the point value is actually a lot less than it normally is. We can just block this way to prevent him from taking away our points. His groups are alive, so I don't need to worry about anything else. So if he connects up, he's not gaining anything from connecting up. Yep, because we're all connected everywhere. And this is where you're going to see where I played this peeping stone. So when I Atari here, I can now extend. And there are some Ataris and stuff, but it doesn't disconnect me anywhere. Now there are some potential disconnections, so I can either extend or I can capture the stones directly. We can even do this Atari. But I'm just going to capture the stones directly. Now we don't have anything to worry about. And now you can see that this peeping stone was very, very important. I didn't necessarily read this out, so I didn't know for sure that this was going to be how it worked. I just knew that there was Aji in this area, and that I was pretty much connected, but there might be something that I have to worry about later. So the peep was just to fix any of that potential. So there was always the possibility of it not being enough, but it ended up turning out fine. So in a slower game, you would read out if you had any issues there. This is probably not big enough. I think reducing the points here is probably bigger. And he's actually not even necessarily alive here. Let's just push through here. He can capture this stone if he wants to. I'll capture these ones. It does sort of feel like he might owe a move. But maybe not.
9,
So
8, 7, 6, 5.
I'm just going to
4,
defend
3.
over here real quick. Because it's looking like he might owe a move here. And because I can't read it out fully, I just want to see what I can get from it. Okay. We can cut these 3 stones off and threaten to capture them. We can threaten again if we want to. This doesn't give him any eyes or anything, so there's not really a point to keep threatening. And then it does seem like, as I said, there's Aji here. So let's peep here, threatening to connect up. And what I'm looking for is not necessarily killing, but endgame. In order to find the endgame, sometimes you have to play the moves that look like they could kill. Because he played this protection, which means I have this move for free. Yep. This was a bad exchange for him. Yeah, he should not have thrown in, I think. Because that puts him one step behind, which could be enough for me to, for example, just cut this. Because he can't Atari from the other side now. Whereas before he connected, then I had to play that Tiger's Mouth myself. And so now he is a dead group. Whereas before, it could have been dead, but it was hard to say for sure. And what makes this interesting is that because I captured this side, and this was... Oh, there we go, he resigned. Because I captured this side, even if he makes a point here, he doesn't have... even if he makes the amount point, but if he makes an eye here, he didn't have an eye anywhere else on that side. So it was a little bit awkward. Yeah, if we go back here, I think his best bet here is actually to give up the 3 stones. If I connect, then he can Atari from behind, and this is going to be alive. So I have to capture the 3 stones. He Atari's here. I capture all the way. Then he makes 2 eyes. I think this is probably his best bet. He could play from this side now first. I capture, he captures. If I do this one, then he goes back over here to make the other eye. I think this is probably the best sort of result he can get. But even if he does this, he didn't necessarily die anywhere else in the game. But I was just ahead by quite a lot. I guess the bottom left corner is really the thing that pushed him really far behind. My goal here was really just like, I'm going to cut. He's going to have to connect here. Maybe I could get just some extra moves. I'm not really sure if I can live here like this, right? This is asking for a lot, but especially since he has the ability to make 2 eyes locally as well. We'll make an eye locally as well. But I guess in this case, I guess he has to capture directly to make this a ko. But yeah, there's a lot of Aji though. There's just a lot of Aji with this position. And maybe he can Hane from this side first, then turn, and then just try to kill like this. There's a lot that he can do. But there's also a lot that he has to worry about, which is why generally, if I pull back like this, you would probably want to either maybe Hane and connect, because now this is much more severe against the corner cut. But if he Hanes and connects, then I'll be able to jump over here and take the points in the center. And if I just get the points in the center, then I'm just ahead by about 30 points. That's a good game. I think this was an interesting game overall. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Have a good day and have fun.